Okay, so in this video, I want to talk about distractions and how to. Okay, so in this video, I want to talk about distractions and how to lessen them. Let's say you wanted to try and start changing the momentum in your life, but then you just keep on tripping up with distractions or something that's just taking your attention or motivation away from that. So there's a few kind of things that I've personally done that works really well. So I'll start with the most important and then get to like the least important, but still kind of almost mental tricks that you can do to make the resistance of you getting rid of the distraction less. So the first thing is you've got to take kind of really stark measures. Like if you're addicted to something or there's a certain distraction in your life, you've got to kind of as much as you don't want to do it, you've got to put like a barrier in place that's massive. Like for example, I'll use an example from my own life. So X or Twitter, I get so addicted to that thing. It's unbelievable. That is the social media that's like my vice that gets me all the time, because I just see something that pisses me off and then it gets me down a rabbit hole and it ruins kind of my vibe, and then I'm on it all the time, and then I start slacking off at the gym, slacking off at blah blah blah, because because my energy is elsewhere. So one thing that I did was I got someone else I knew on your iPhone. You can do this thing where like you put a password in and block certain apps. So one thing I did was I literally got this person that I know to pop in a password that I don't know, meaning that I can't re-download this app. So therefore, the only way I could possibly get on it was if I was to be on a laptop. But when you're out and about or from day to day, I'm usually more on your phone than you are your laptop. So it just meant that barrier to accessing the distraction was much less. Now, because it's hard to do, one thing that is valuable to try and do, you've got to like build up the energy to get rid of the distraction. So like if you've got an addictive personality, you'll kind of know what I mean. Like I've got a bit of an addictive personality and I had to stop drinking. But one of the lessons that I learned from that is that you've got to kind of hit like a bit of a rock bottom for you to channel up the energy to be able to stop doing something. Because if something you're doing like isn't that bad, like if you're just on Twitter or if you're just on TikTok or if you're just drinking a few pints the weekend and you're not an absolute maniac, then you can continue doing it for ages, because there's nothing to like punch you in the face and say, look, stop what you're doing because X is going to happen. So to get to the point where you're motivated enough to put in a stark measure, it doesn't have to be the stark measure that I just mentioned, but like just deleting something, or you've got to come up with your own measure that you'll know inside of what you can do, and also get someone else to help you out with it. You don't have to tell them that you're struggling with something. Just say, look, I'm trying to stop doing this, will you kind of help me? I need a third person to try and like put in a place, because I know with myself, if I put a barrier in place that I've set, I get sneaky and I just undo the barrier and just go on the thing. So to get enough, you need to build up enough energy, like emotional energy, to get angry enough to be able to be motivated enough to put that barrier in place. Like so like the example of drinking, you hit the rock bottom, that gave me the energy to say, look, I'm not drinking anymore. But like when it came to X, what I would do is just get angry. What I would think about, I had to think about like what I've just spent the last week not doing any of my work because of this thing. And then I just got annoyed at the fact that this thing that isn't even like doesn't mean anything is ruining my life. And I used like negative energy to channel up in sort of like an angry way. I got angry with it, and I was like, I've got a bit of a short fuse, so it's not hard for me to get angry. But I got angry with it, and I was like, right, I need to make a final kind of step. And then went to my fiance. She did the thing with the password, so I couldn't get it on it anymore. And then eventually, like the pull to go to that distraction was less, which meant that I could do things that I wanted to do. Also, another thing is trying to envision like a bad habit or distraction as if it's like got as if it's a planet. Sounds weird, but go with me on this. So if you imagine like the formation of a planet. So is the formation of a habit. The formation of a planet is the same as the formation of a habit. So you've got the creation of a planet is like you've got a rock that's a bit bigger than this rock over here, and this gravity of this rock will pull this other smaller rock into it, making this rock bigger. And then you've got this bigger rock, and there'll be another smaller rock over here, and it'll pull it in and make this rock even bigger. And then eventually you've got so many smaller rocks that have been pulled into this bigger rock that's just getting even bigger. Eventually you've got this massive like planet to deal with. And it's the same with a habit. It's like every time you do a certain habit or go on a certain thing at a certain time, you're like strengthening that bad habit. It's like metaphorical kind of thing, if you get with me. So like, but how would you undo it? So you're not going to be able to undo a planet, but if you think of each rock, all you got to do is just try and make that thing that's pulling you in smaller. So like, if you know that there's a certain time or certain place that you're gonna go on, I'll use X as an example. You're going to go on X, you're going to go on your distraction, or there's something, if that is, or it's going to distract you from getting on with your life, you need to kind of just like chisel away at the habit so it's less strong. And then when it's a weaker habit, as in, let's say you used to do it or go on X like for 2 hours a day, or go on TikTok for 2 or 3 hours a day, and now you're only on it for half an hour a day, because in the mornings or in the night times, instead of going and doing your normal routine, like you'll have dinner and then you'll chill out for a bit, going on X or TikTok, you'll think of something else to do just for that one occasion, and do something else that you enjoy. Like whatever you enjoy, just do something else during that time, meaning that you're slowly reducing the amount of time you're spending doing the distraction, and the less time you're on it, the less gravity it has in pulling you in, because you start thinking about it less. Instead of it being an addictive cycle upwards, getting more addictive, it's like a unaddictive cycle downwards, because then you realize there's other things to do. And then like in the mornings, instead of like going on TikTok, you'll go out for, I don't know, you'll do something else instead. Like I got into the habit of going out for a walk around the block for 15 minutes every morning, which stops me going on X. Like I'll just get up, because I like going on a walk, I like having a coffee, I like getting the sun in my eyes, and I can think about things through in my head, and then afterwards I can reflect and I feel good. And then in comparing it to when I used to just be on social media in the mornings, I felt bad afterwards. It felt like it drained energy. So, and then another way to look at it is to try and serve your like future self, which sounds weird, but like think of yourself now and think of yourself over the last 2 weeks. You have kind of let yourself down because you've been getting distracted. So you get annoyed at your own self, because it was you that got distracted that didn't go to the gym, or you that got distracted that didn't start a business. But if you think, okay, well, I'm going to just serve that person tomorrow. So it makes it easier for me tomorrow. So like, let's say let's say you want to get up and go for a walk in the morning instead of going on social media. But when you get up and make a coffee, your kitchen's a mess. So now when you wake up in the morning, you're thinking, oh, bloody hell, I've got to wash my kit. I've got to clean the coffee equipment before I can even make myself a coffee. And that makes it much harder to actually get up and make yourself the coffee. Like if you, the day before, were to just try it today, just try and serve you tomorrow yourself. Just think, right, the day before I'm just going to prep, I'm going to just clean the coffee machine so it's nice and ready for it to be an easy go, or whatever you're trying to avoid in the distraction. But yeah, and also, yeah, so that's essentially it. Just take a stark measure and imagine it's kind of got like a gravity to it as the habit. And the less you do it, the less likely you're going to be drawn to that thing. Obviously, now and again, you might get a craving to go on it and have a binge. Like if you've got a binge personality like I do, sometimes it's okay just to go on it and like a small amount at the start, because if you go completely cold turkey, it can kind of trigger just a massive binge. Like if it's gaming, for example, like if you just go cold turkey, it's hard. But if you stop gaming on a night and go into the gym and start making friends at the gym, you're going to be more motivated on a night time to go to the gym rather than play games. So it's kind of a long, but then you might still play a little bit during the day or in the morning or whenever after the gym, just to kind of get you fixed there a little bit. But you should just try it. Try all these different things that I've said, see how they work for you, and if you can actually start to change a bit of your life. And I think you can, because if they've worked for me, that's how I've done things, and it's actually worked. At 28 now, and it's taken me a long time to realize this stuff. Like I used to have so many bad habits, so many distractions. Lord knows how I did anything. So I just used to be drinking all the time and eating crap and going on social media and watching movies, and that's all I did. I did a bit of work in between, but I could have done so much more if there wasn't all these distractions. But now I've kind of got rid of a lot of them. The only real distractions I have right now is kind of like podcasts. But the thing is with podcasts is you can actually do that at the place, like at the gym. I can listen to a podcast, so it doesn't actually stop me completely. Like if I'm just on X or playing a video game, I can't play a video game at the gym, but I can listen to a podcast. So it's a little bit of a kind of a better habit. But yeah, so if you enjoyed that video, give it a like, subscribe. A lot of people, well, we've had more comments about people requesting videos, and people really like doing that, and I get a lot from it as well. So if you wanted a video to be made about a certain subject and you think that I might be able to answer it, I'll give it a shot. If not, just give me a like, subscribe, support. It's all great. And I'll see you in the next video.